tell you something, Dr. Noda. Listen, I'm over here yelling at the screen. I was about to take my slide off and throw it at the computer. Like, oh my God. That was so good. I enjoyed you. You got hands up already. So let me go ahead and let the ladies ask their questions, get their feedback. So
Dr. Nordia and Dr. Tiffany, it is so amazing to be online with all of these beautiful women tonight. You right, keep on being your authentic self. You don't know who's watching me. I watched Tiffany be her authentic self, and that's why I was able to be a part of this group. Every woman in this group has blessed me, but so I just wanted to share. I let go of a toxic relationship this week, and I feel free. And let me tell you how. This morning I got up and I made an acronym out of my name, right? Let me tell you how he's working. He's doing it. And so my name is Yvonne. An O for original and outstanding. And I am, and it's for being necessary. And the other N is for being nurturing and nourishing. And the last E is effervescent. And I'm excellent. And I did it with my daughter. And I'm going to type it up and put it on my wall to remind myself every day of who I am in God, right? That acronym that she just did with her name was confirmation that God is doing what he's supposed to be doing. So I thank y'all for letting me share for a few minutes. I love everybody so much. And thank you for all the support. Thank you for helping to strengthen me to make a hard decision. I thought when I walked away from a toxic relationship, I was like gonna burst into flames, or I was gonna go through the complete apocalypse. But with all the support that I had, I let go of hurt, and I'm holding on to God's hands. So thank y'all so much. I love everybody. Thank y'all.
Hey, everybody, and thank you to our guest, Dr. Nordia. I want to say your story has touched me and very personally. I was in a relationship for 20 years, and I went to church growing up, and I always thought that just to keep waiting and things to get better and things like that, and I left. And, I went back for financial reasons, and now I'm fully done. And, I go home alone. I'm in the process of getting my children and everything. And even with that, it's a lot of emotions and things that I'm dealing with. My business was affected, just so much. And it's but I don't give up. I had rough days. I go through stuff behind closed doors, and I don't like to talk about it because it's sad and I'm really an upbeat person, but it's a lot going on. The devil is so busy, but it's stories like yours that really allow us to see that you can come out of anything, and it's going to be hard, but if you just keep having faith and you keep going, that God is going to take care of you, and I know that. So I just want you to know that I wish my sister-in-law was on here. She lost her husband. I don't know if anybody knows her, Tanika. She came here before or wanted to be in here, Tiffany, but I'm not sure if she ever came back, Tanika. But she lost her husband. Her husband was her everything, and he was her support system. And now she's alone. So I do want to invite her to the group and see if she wants to come, because hearing stories like yours would really help her, because she lost her husband too. And it's a difference, losing, because loss can be it can be even a big breakup. It's a lot of emotions that go on with that you have to think about. So I think your story resonates with someone that loses someone physically and, out of the physical, whether, they're going through a separation. But I just feel like God used you to help other women, and He doesn't make any mistakes. And you were here tonight with a group of women that can relate, and your story definitely resonated with us and helped us. So to God be the glory, and I ask God to continue to bless you in your journey. And that's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Dr. Nordia, I just want to thank you. I was crying. I want to thank you for sharing your story. Building support system is I'm also a woman who went to domestic violence 11 years ago, and your story was my biggest motivation. Just to set goals for yourself. You know, you're, like you said, turning your pain turned into purpose, and that's one thing. And you didn't let go. You can lose it all, but don't lose yourself. And I just thank God, you know, I'm not alone in my story. There's other women who shares their story and that overcame their story. And I love that you overcame your story and that you didn't let your story define you or define who you are. You just kept on going. And one thing about it, I noticed about God, being disobedient to God is not key. God always say, walk in obedience and listen to His voice, and He will see us through. And I like what Dr. Tiffany said about being your authentic self. Always be you, the real you, and it will show. And make sure that God is in all that you do, and honor God in all that you do, because God, we can bring all our pain and suffering to God. Wherever we go through, we can bring it to God. And that's what I love about Him, that we are not alone in what we go through. There is God with us, and there is support that He brings to us. And I love that you overcame that obstacle that tried to block you and from losing someone. That can be the biggest obstacle from losing a loved one. But thank God for your support system that you had.
Dr. Nordia, thank you so much for sharing your story. And I can so relate to so many things you said. But I definitely, when you said that you through all of it, you did not give up on God. And I'm so excited about that, because guess what? God did not give up on you. And I know you see that every day of your life. God is so good. And that's the thing, like when we all have a story, and we all have a pain to purpose story. And I just thank you for turning that pain into purpose by starting your organization and your sons, you know, because that was definitely trauma for them. I have my grandchildren, especially my granddaughter, who lost her mom when she was 3 years old. And so she's always had that. So we kind of have to fill in the blanks, because as she gets older, she kind of forgets. So, but it's still trauma. And so that is a necessary field that you're in. And so I'm just so godly proud of you. And you don't look like what you've been through. I'm telling you, I love you. I just met you and I love you already. So I just wanted to say that. Thank you so much for sharing.
And that was that N of your name. And all of us get to add the initial N, because we are all necessary. And just as Dr. Nordia just shared, thank you so much. Thank you for everything you shared. And something that struck me as you were sharing was, so often people tell us what God said, and we don't stop and ask God what He says. But we listen to what people say God is saying, and we listen to the criticisms and the labels they put on us. I've done it. And we let those labels stick. But when God talks, we don't hear Him louder. But you heard Him, and you heard His promises, and that just fires me up, because we all get to go back and look for the promises God's made for us. And instead of hearing what other people say God says, we build a relationship where we hear, and that's what you've got. You're bringing His message forward, you're shining. And gee, I get to celebrate you as well tonight, because you're amazing and we got to connect. Thank you.